welcome back. In episode 1, we established that corporate America is currently being run by people who have never held a shovel, flipped a burger, or experienced a minor inconvenience without calling a life coach. We're calling them the turd generation. They were raised by people who told them they were magical unicorns. And now they're in charge of systems they don't understand, managing people they've never met, and implementing software that works great in a PowerPoint, but is a dumpster fire in the field. Today, we're talking about how these button-happy brats are officially breaking our kids. Grab a drink, you're going to need it. I once had a colleague, a grown man, actually weep. Big, salty tears. Why? Because he had to clean his own house. Honestly, dude, get a grip. These are the people making the calls for the rest of us. This is your boss right now. They sit in glass offices paying the help minimum wage while they buy software designed to turn water into gold. You, the revenue maker, is expected you to do it at hyper speed because a line on a graph told them it was possible. Let's send you a video to train you because it is super easy for them. They have had all the privilege of sitting on their ass looking down at people and pressing buttons. These software guys saw America coming and said, the line for the dumb fuck special forms to the left. And the turd generation signed right up. They love the reporting, they love the real-time data, but they wouldn't know a real-life implication if it hit them in their artisanal avocado toast. They are simple in love with hearing the sound of their voices and love to tell others how much they know. And here's the kicker. These people are raising their kids the same way. We're creating a fleet of emotionless robots. Meanwhile, the rest of us are chasing our tails for crumbs, too busy making someone else rich to actually see our own families, or we refrain from having families because of our employment and the time and financial restraints that come along with it. If you're working to live, you aren't seeing your kids. When you do see them, you're so exhausted from fulfilling the needs of the elite that you just shove a screen in their face for some instant gratification so you can have a minute to breathe. We aren't raising humans anymore. We're raising consumers with zero humility and an unrealistic expectation of humanity. I just heard of ownership holding their team's bonuses until they can personally hand them out. That means waiting for a time in their busy schedule of sitting around a table, talking about their latest spreadsheet, and creating conspiracies that do not exist because they have too much time on their hands. Well, that was a nice gesture in 1950, but the staff of this particular venue was so enraged because they needed their bonuses for the holidays. They already paid the taxes on the bonuses, but they did not have the check. Dude, get over yourself. That is the bottom line. The only person who gives two shits about who you are is yourself. Go stand in the mirror and hold your own bonus. In reality, they probably have no idea what their bonus is because the next bill is not sitting on their psyche like a meddling troll. The wave of fear to go to collections, to lose that credit score, then you will have nothing. The vicious cycle of anxiety. They have no clue what that is like, not being able to get your child from daycare in time because you can't leave early, or not being able to keep your children warm because you cannot pay the heat bill. These people have no idea what life is like, how tired we all are. That's why I walked. I'm done fighting an uphill battle. I traded the 6-figure stress and the 3 degrees for my kids. You should not have to choose between food and shelter or raising good people. That is what we have done. Since October, I've been fun-employed. My kids don't have to call me to ask when I'm coming home. We're actually doing things. I have been able to meet with their teachers. On Thanksgiving, we didn't raffle off TVs or watch Uncle Art get blackout drunk. We cooked for the homeless, together all of us. My children all cooked, packaged, and delivered food to the homeless in Philadelphia. Guess what? My kids loved it. Turns out being a decent human is actually fulfilling. Who knew? I will admit I had a good idea. The world doesn't make it easy to be a decent human. We have been told of all of these leisures. Yes, you can achieve anything. However, opportunity is definitely only for the well-off or the complete poverty-stricken. The workhorses like myself are just funding it with our 6-figure salary and high tax demand. I used to be the middle class. I told you I did the work. I got the degrees. These are the struggles that are happening to the people like me. We are becoming burnt and hopeless, and the ones that remain are getting angry because they are treated like numbers and not humans. They are blamed for the poor decisions made by the turd generation. How is it legal that Verizon can charge me $5,000 in fees and late fees when their service did not ever work? I could not get a hold of them. They told me I lied that they are available. This was not true. I had the proof. It did not matter. But that's pocket change compared to the school system. We moved to a better district for our kids. Our previous district that we loved was rezoned, and the school system was taken over by the needs of the private schools. We had a choice, but my kids needed to have a good education. Higher taxes, better future. The school was supposed to be better with smaller classes. In reality, my 7-year-old daughter was bullied so badly in the first 4 months, she tried to bleach her own teeth with real bleach. This was already after months of speaking with the school teachers and principals about her incident. This is after all parties involved admitted to knowing there was an incident and that my daughter was being kind. When she finally refused to go to school, I walked in the school and was told directly by the principal, who was at least 15 years younger than I am, to leave her and she would be okay. An hour later, I get a frantic call to pick her up and told she needs to be seen by their solution and referral before she could come back. And the school's solution? A Zoom call with a budget-friendly consultant who had the clinical experience of a houseplant. This expert decided my 7-year-old was a homicidal risk. The questions asked were not appropriate for a 7-year-old, even I knew that. Naturally, she was angry because she was being picked on for months, and she was going to react and vocalized it instead. I am pretty sure this was a positive thing. I guess not, because the end result was their solution sending her to an ER where she sat for 2 days with drug addicts and trauma patients, then took her by ambulance at 3 a.m. to a facility for delinquents. 7 years old. They stripped her clothes. They yelled at her. They took her cold turkey off sleep meds. We were allowed to see her 1 hour a day. We would go in there and she would sob the whole time. We finally had the child psychiatrist evaluate her and confirmed she was not evaluated as a child and she should not be in there. When she finally got out, 2 days went by and she had a panic attack, and the school sent the police to my house to look for guns. We don't even own guns. We're a live, laugh, love household, and I've got the SWAT team at the door because the school system is run by people who check boxes instead of pulses. This resulted in a trip to get a new clearance from school from our long-term family therapist, who we finally found out we could have used instead of the budget-friendly referral. It just would be at our expense. The counselor said that she cannot return, that she had trauma that needed to be processed from the facility she was in. This led us to a bridge program that we had to pay for and drive her to and from every day. Naturally, it runs the same time as our other kids' schools, so time to pull green leprechauns out of my ass to try and make this happen. We barely survived, but we got her there every day. Again, she was confirmed by the lead therapists in the bridge program that she was too young to be in their group counseling, but they had no other option. Our daughter attended the groups and listened to stories of teenagers trying to kill themselves. My daughter had told the group about the girl she had met in the treatment center that was being molested by her father. My daughter told them about the girl who hung herself and expressed how she can't sleep because they are her friends and she needs to help them. We witnessed our daughter have night terrors every night, still to this day. So after the bridge program, she had to attend that ended up being Introduction to Graphic Trauma 101, with a bunch of teenagers. We finally finished the school year in regular school for the last 3 weeks. Obviously, she failed everything and was now below grade standard, but that does not matter as long as the homicidal 7-year-old that was bullied for 4 straight months and well known by the whole school is off the streets. If I did not adhere to their policies, I would be found unlawful and could have charges brought against me. This was what I was told. Then came summer camp. A camp she's gone to for 6 years. We have known the family for years. What we did not know is there would be a counselor there working a summer job at the summer camp. 2 weeks into the season, we received a phone call. The owner had said that mothers called her and said that my daughter was talking about people hanging themselves and the incestual relationship that she was told about. She was 8, only 8, and she did not understand the context. She does now, we had to tell her. They kicked her out of camp. We never blamed them. We understand they needed to feed their children, and that was their business. They are bound by the same rules as we are. The tuition is non-refundable, and now we are unable to go back and have to find new summer childcare so the 3 can stay together. It is only my husband and I. We both worked, full-time jobs, plus both had side jobs. What are we supposed to do now? All the camps were already filled. The answer was, she spent the entire summer in the back of my husband's truck with the AC on. That was all we could do. We had to pay for additional insurance and gas to make this happen. Side note, who is the fucking idiot making the school schedules? Hello, clearly someone who has no fucking clue what work is made the schedule because they never have school. True story, my kid had only 8 days of school in November. I sure as hell know that people do not have only 8 days of work because everyone needs their money. Tell me, how does this work? How is this not so fucking stupid? Everyone stop making the rules if you have never done the fucking job. Clearly, the people making this schedule are not working, or they don't have kids that they are responsible for, because if they did, they would realize how fucking stupid it is. Seriously, does anyone work anymore? The final tally of this piece of my American dream. The damage to the youth attorney fees, $35,000. Camp tuition, $6,000. Lost wages, gas, BS, $10,000. Total cost of the system I pay for to protect me, $51,000. Let's not forget that I have a now 9-year-old that has been through hell and back and has never been the same. That's $51,000 I spent for doing the right thing. That's a mortgage. That's a future. Instead, it's gone into the pockets of the turd generation's failed institutions. This is 2 examples of hundreds I can prove. How are people not losing their minds? We are set up to fail. But here's the silver lining. I'm not defeated anymore. My bills might be late, but my kids are finally growing. We'll sell the house, we'll live in a shack. We don't care, as long as we're together. The system is backwards, folks. It's time to stop worrying about the dream and start raising strong, kind humans who can see through the bullshit. If you have this talent, walk away and take it with you. Humanity needs your time more than corporate America. Thanks for listening.